Hey friends, Crystal Levanma here, vlogging every day in August, day 19. So I talked to my son Connor today as I was driving around. He gave me a ring as he's driving around in Iowa. And my son Connor is a super cool cat. He lives in Colorado and he works for a company that supplies big generators and power supplies and stuff for concert venues and construction projects. And so he's in Iowa right now supporting the disaster relief for the Iowa derecho storm. And I was like, it sounds kind of familiar. Like, I think I might have heard something about it. And he's like, yeah, it's like a hurricane in Iowa, like 140 mile per hour winds, 10 million acres of corn just got, crops and corn just decimated. Something like almost 600,000 people without power. I think like 30,000 still don't have power after a whole week. It's really bad. And so he's been there helping out for about a week. He says he's gonna be there another week or so. And he's been to these disaster relief things before. He's Texas and Florida and different places, because there's lots of disasters, various disasters that can happen everywhere, but it seems like Arizona, thankfully. But he said that people were so nice and they so appreciated his help, buying him meals and everything, because they know how hard it is. He said basically they want you to work 24 hours a day. So he drove there like 12 hours to get there, and then immediately just started work, got out, started working, I think it's like 10 or 20 hours or something like that. And he said a lot of times you end up sleeping in your truck because the hotels don't have power. There's no place to stay. He has a hotel now, but some buddies of his who got there before him, they ended up sleeping like in a drain pipe, a giant drain pipe, because it was raining and there was no place for them to stay. But what really caught my attention is that for the people in Iowa, this is devastating. Like, it's, a major population is affected by this severely. It's terrible. And I'm barely aware of it because I'm so far away, even though, the same country really. And that's kind of the way it is, right? I mean, we're so spread out and in our little bubbles that we just can't relate to other people very easily, I think. So that brings me to my second part of this. I got home today and I ran across the DNC roll call. So the Democratic Party is having their big convention this week for the presidential election coming up. And that's part of the process, part of the tradition is to have a roll call where all the states and territories name their votes for each candidate that's nominated. And I just love it. I love the whole election thing. It's the neatest thing that we've had this tradition going way back to the beginning of our country. And yeah, I know politics aside and all the messages and rhetoric, set all that aside and just appreciate the tradition. I think it's so neat. So this year, of course, they can't do the big convention hall and, normally the roll call is like masses of people from every state, like one for every vote. They're all there, and flags and balloons and stuff. They're not doing that this year. It's all virtual. And it was neat. It was so cool because every state had a little 30 to 40 second pitch in the background that was representative of their state, something they were proud to share with the country. And they did their little message and cast their votes. And all the territories and all the states did this. And it was really neat, given the conversation I just had, where it's hard to relate to people in other states. If you haven't traveled there, you don't know. And it's nice to see the diversity of our country and, all the different kinds of people. A lot of the people in these roll call little vignettes were just regular people. You could tell they were really nervous about being on camera. And, some were like the politician types, but some were really nervous and saying their speech. And it made me want to cry a little bit. I felt so connected with these people. So check it out if you get a chance. But at the end of the day, here's my point, wrapping it all up. Putting all of the crazy aside, we're really so much more alike than we are different. We really, really are. And I think if we could really appreciate that a little bit more, it would make life so much better and so much easier. Let's be honest, the people in Iowa right now, they don't care about the political stuff. They care about having their power on and what they can do, to get the bills paid now that their crops are destroyed. Anybody can relate to that. My power went out for like 2 minutes the other night. I can extrapolate that to going a whole week without power. I think we can all empathize with that. So that's my point of this whole thing is we're all really so much more alike than we are different. And I think today it really hit home for me a little bit. And so I just wanted to share it with you for my thought for the day. So go out there and make it a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow.